Bepin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory, Part 3. After lunchtime, Bipin Babu realized that he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk and writing. This had never happened in the 25 years he had been with the firm. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker, but today his head was in a whirl. Back home at 2:30, Bipin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits together. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he didn't know of a single instance of someone remembering everything except one particular incident, and a fairly recent and significant one at that. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi. To have gone there, done things, and not to remember was something utterly impossible. At 7:30, Bipin Babu's servant came and announced, "Chuni Babu sir says it's very important." Bipin Babu knew what Chuni had come for. Chunilal had been at school with him. He had been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about a job. Bipin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him and, in fact, told him so. But Chuni kept turning up like a bad penny. Bipin Babu sent word that not only was it not possible for him to see Chuni now, but not in several weeks. But as soon as the servant stepped out of the room, it struck Bipin Babu that Chuni might remember something about the 58 trip. There was no harm in asking him. Bipin Babu hurried down the stairs and into the living room. Chuni was about to leave, but seeing Bipin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. Bipin Babu didn't beat around about the bush. "Listen, Chuni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory, and you have been seeing me off and on for a long time. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? Chuni said, 58. It must have been 58, or was it 59? You are sure that I did go to Ranchi? Chuni's look of amazement was not unmixed with worry. Do you mean you have doubts about having gone at all? Did I go? Do you remember clearly? Chuni sat down on the sofa, fixed Bipin Babu with a long, hard stare, and said, Bipin, have you taken to drugs or something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. I know that old friendships don't mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. You can't really mean that you have forgotten about the Ranchi trip. Bipin Babu had to turn away from Chuni's incredulous stare. Do you remember what my last job was? Asked Chunilal. Of course, you worked in a travel agency. You remember that, and you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi. I went to the station to see you off. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got an electrician to fix it. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you? You don't look too well, you know? Bipin Babu sighed and shook his head. I have been working too hard, he said at last. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. Doubtless, it was Bipin's condition which made Chunilal leave without mentioning anything about a job. Paresh Chanda was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bipin Babu's symptoms. Look, Dr. Chanda, said Bipin Babu desperately. You must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it's affecting my work. Dr. Chanda shook his head. You know what, Mr. Choudhury? He said, I have never had to deal with a case such as yours. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience. But I have one suggestion. I don't know if it will work, but it's worth a try. It can do no harm. Bipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. As far as I can make out, said Dr. Chanda, and I think you are of the same opinion. You must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reason, the entire episode has slipped out of your mind. What I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. The sight of the place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. More than that, I cannot do at the moment. I am prescribing a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Sleep is essential, or the symptoms will get more pronounced. Bipin Babu felt somewhat better the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up his office, gave some instructions, and then procured a first class ticket for Ranchi for the same evening.